but maybe I should do that more often. So hopefully you see this now or you see this at some point later. But just wanted to share a few quick things, right? A lot has been going on in our country this week, right? And everyone has something to say about it, right? There's been so many Facebook posts. There's been so many Instagram posts. There's been one less Twitter post. Petty. But I wanted to add my 2 cents very quickly, but come from a different angle. And you see this, share it. You can watch it another time tomorrow. 2 things. You see the title is A Note for Worshipers and a Note for Christ's Representatives. So I just wanted to talk to worship leaders, musicians, song leaders, singers, choir members, all that, whoever participates in music on church on Sundays. When things like this have happened in our country, any kind of tragedy, any kind of loss, any kind of bad event that, has wrecked us or touched us somehow, the most difficult part for me, the second most difficult part, aside from living through it, that's my daughter, the most difficult part, the next difficult part of it was being a worship leader the Sunday after, right? Because let's be honest, I don't like ignoring the pink elephant in the room. I don't like keeping secrets. I don't like pretending. I don't pretend well at all. You can ask anyone that knows me. I'm just not good at that. So that Sunday after something happened, no matter where it fell in the week, was often difficult for me. Because how do we have such, and let's speak to this week's events, the rioting at our Capitol, the insurrection, and I'll aptly call it. And unfortunately, another painful reminder of the reality of privilege in America and how far we have to come and how far we need to go in terms of how we deal with race relations and all that. You saw it for yourself. And come on, especially if you're a person of color, and if you have any understanding of history, had that been people of color, that's all I'll say. So the difficult thing is how then when something like this happens on Sunday, can I just get up and jump around the stage? Lord, you are good and your mercy endureth. It's on everybody's mind, right? It's on your mind as the worship leader. How do we jump around stage and just act happy when we know what's going on, right? Now, yes, God is still worthy of praise. He's still worthy of us singing to him and getting into his presence, because his presence is the answer, some will believe. But it's almost like something like Wednesday happened, and then God is in heaven like, hey, you know what? I know that was pretty unjust. I know it was a display of privilege by far. I know the country's in bad shape right now, it seems. Bring me the songs. Bring me music. Yes, I know that happened, but music right now, please. Sing to me. Sing to me. Please sing to me. I don't think that's God's posture or position when things like this happen. However, it's like our response is, oh God, something happened to our country. I know what you need. Music. Count the songs. Here we go. Let's go, God. Take these songs, because don't say nothing else, Jesus. You need these songs. You need this prayer. You need this praise. Ask me. We got it. We know what you like, God. We got you. We got these praise and worship for you on Sunday. And I find scriptures in the Bible, especially in Amos, where God is actually the opposite. Like, miss me with your songs. I don't need your song, your singing, your sacrifices, your music. Miss me with that. Do right. Do justice. Let justice roll like a mighty stream. Spare your music. Do right. Even Jesus told us, leave your sacrifice, your gift at the altar. Go work out whatever ought is there with a brother first. Then come back. He doesn't even receive the sacrifice, the offering, the worship in the context of broken relationship. So I'm saying all that to say this, pastors, and I'm one now too, maybe consider this. Maybe we don't just sing the songs that were on the schedule for Sunday anyway, when there's a heaviness in the room. Maybe we can trust our worship leaders to flow. They're not going to take over. They're not trying to take over your churches. They're not trying to take over our churches. But if they're heavy, they're down. I mean, we're all feeling that. Let's not ignore that. Maybe let's find praise and worship music. Let's find church music that speaks to that speaks to the time, right? And let's not pretend. Maybe we sing a few somber songs. Maybe you sing a hymn that pulls us back. God, great is thy faithfulness, morning by morning. Or be not dismayed at whatever be time. Thank you, Bishop Ellis. God will take care of us. God will take care of the marginalized. God will take care of the oppressed. And then maybe you can sing a song to re-energize the will so that we can go out and do what God said do. I am gonna treat everybody right. I am gonna treat everybody right. Not necessarily a praise and worship song, but you see what I'm getting at? So maybe it's okay to shift and just go with where things are. I'm not saying to let world events dictate how you lead, but you can flow with it. Let's not pretend. Don't make them pretend. And don't do this, let's save the big stuff for pastor. No, let your musicians who are good at music, who are experts at worship leading, let them handle it. Let them navigate through that and be sensitive that, hey, everyone's feeling this, so let's not pretend there's no grief in the room when we sing. But let's take our grief and use it with song to position ourselves back to God. So, for example, I'm the pastor and the worship leader, so I'm tripping on this. And for me, it was like, you know what? Let's sing this song. In him do I live, move, and have my being, because I'm nothing without you. And I'm like, this is appropriate for the moment, because it's not working on our own, and Republican and Democrat is not the answer, though I lean Democrat. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? It's let's focus back on him and not look into the sky and blinding to the sun and sing our Jesus songs where we become blind to what's happening around us. No. There's a response we must have and go do. And too many times we just want to, let's just worship it away. No, this needs confrontation. This needs prophetic confrontation. Thank you, Jeffrey Golden. So my last point is this. I'm sure a lot of people feel a certain kind of ways, but I'm speaking to believers. I'm speaking to people who are putting themselves on the right side of history. I'm speaking to the marginalized. I'm speaking to true sons and daughters of God. Hear me, and this goes for me too, because I struggle in this. Don't waste your time Facebook and social media arguing with those who choose to refuse to get it. Don't waste time. I'm speaking to myself too, because I love to go after them and I love a good fight, but it's no. People who are that gone, who still believe that, for example, Donald Trump is the anointed of God, who still believe that he's going to win the election that he lost, people that still share and spread the lies that it was rigged, that's lies. And at this point, what they have is not faith. It is deception, and they are spreading deception. And that, my friends, is the work of Satan. Don't fight with that. And I'm talking to myself too. Don't fight with that. Don't argue. Don't comment. Because now we need people to speak and speak truth and speak prophetically. And here's why. As you, and speaking to myself again, waste time arguing with people who choose to not get it or to choose to fail to demonstrate the awareness, you might miss out on an opportunity to talk to someone who could really use your voice. My job isn't to convert anyone, and I hate that term, convert people. No, man, my opinion is I found Jesus. I believe in God. It's amazing. It's done wonders for my life. Hey, you want to hear about it? Try it out. If not, cool. I'm not going to jam it down your throat. And what I found throughout all this, throughout the president, throughout all of this, as I try to bypass the social media arguments, and then I'll say my piece if I have time, but try and do less of that. But what happens is when all that dust settles, I'll get an inbox from someone who maybe an atheist or maybe not a believer, who maybe doesn't go to church. And they'll say, hey, man, I saw how you handled that. Thank you. Hey, man, I see how you live and how you speak to what's going on. Hey, man, I know nobody's perfect, but you know, this Jesus thing that everyone's talking about, the one you're talking about and how you live it and do it is different from the ones I've seen. I get those inboxes. I got one inbox that said, yes, I'm an atheist and you know this. And if you see this, you know who you are, and we always share a good laugh. But he said, but if I would ever go to church, I would go to yours. And that meant something to me. Not as a badge of honor, because we all miss it, we all fail. I'm sure at some point there will be something, if not already, I need to apologize to someone for. All right? But the fact that in my, trying to be pure-hearted, trying to love people and love God and find myself within, the expression of Christian faith, it's people who don't even believe like me, who see what I do and say, even though I don't believe, I respect you. Even though I don't see it the same way, you're doing it right. Those are the conversations you want. Those are the people you want to take time with. And again, not with the goal in mind to, I'm going to convert you, believe. One, is not your job. Two, if God needed your help to do that, then maybe the atheist has a point. But because we want to see everyone do better, and we're not going to discriminate against who we help or who we're there for, right? Be a blessing to anyone, not just people who look like you, believe like you, right? People are watching. And in this season, I believe God is exposing so much of the hypocrisy, and not just in white evangelical churches. It's happening everywhere. But right now, the focus is on the evangelical church. And my brothers and sisters over there are catching it. You're not under attack. You're not under attack. You're under harvest. You're under harvest. We reap what we sow. And for years, there's been sown some horrible seeds of misdeeds all throughout America. And no, we can't just Jesus this away. We can't just kumbaya this away. No. We're not going to do that. But we're going to deal with what we have. And there needs to be some real repentance. But my job isn't to make anyone repent. So don't, my last point, and I'm done. Don't take a lot of time debating these people on Facebook who choose to not get it. And they are convinced that you're the one that doesn't get it. You're the one that's off. You're the one that's missed Jesus. And that everyone who stormed the Capitol are patriots. And that the man who sits in the Oval Office is God's servant sent by God, and that he's destined to win, and anyone who speaks against him is out of order. Well, that undermines Jesus' ministry, the entire prophetic ministry, major and minor prophets. But don't even take your time dealing with that. As a matter of fact, something I do when someone comes on my page and spitting some of that mess, honestly, if I try to be fair, but if they spit that mess, and I know like you're on a mess, not trying to understand you on a mess, and your stuff, I delete the comments and respond. That ignore and unfollow button is a miracle worker. Jesus, it is. And I need to utilize it even more. Because when I get distracted by ignorant defend and explain what about this, I found opportunities to talk to real people who are world is watching. People have their eyes on us. Dr. Phil say this and I'll be done. He said, my father told me one day to never miss a good opportunity to shut up. There's a lot of people right now who are missing wonderful opportunities to be quiet and to listen. Don't waste your precious words on those who already have rejected them before you seek them. But instead, use those words to someone else who's trying to get this right, who's trying to figure out, who's trying to even reconcile, like, how is this Christianity, but yet this is what they do? How is he a man of God and do this? Let's have those conversations. Don't waste your time with the other foolishness. Block, ignore, delete. They'll be okay because Jesus still loves them. The Holy Spirit will still work on them as well. No, I don't believe in cancel culture, but I do believe in seasons of mute. Yeah. Seasons of mute. You need to be muted. You need to be quiet. You need to not be heard for a while because it's time to learn. And those, and this might be arrogant, I'm sorry, who get it, those who represent Christ a little bit better, will speak. Will be the prophets. You all demonized Jeremiah Wright in 2008, demonized him. And of all the prophets we've seen and heard from so far, he's been about the only one that's been true, hasn't he? But you try to call even him the Antichrist. So that's all I'm saying. People are going to be people. They're going to do what they want to do. You do better. And push me. Let's do better. Engage in the right conversation. Steward your energy. Guard your space. Open your heart. And I promise you, God will send you the right ones and the right conversations because they are watching, whether they comment or not. They're watching. And I would hate to earn the praise of Christians who believe like me in groupthink, but lose the respect of those who may not believe. Because that closes the door to witness. We got to keep that door open, okay? So have wonderful church services tomorrow. Worship, don't ignore the big elephant in the room. It happened. It happened. More I want to say about worship leaders, but I'll put it on another day because this got long. If you have nowhere to have online virtual church tomorrow, I have a church. It's called the Collide Church, and why am I dancing? I don't know, but we'll be on tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. and then we'll be broadcasted later because maybe 11:30 a.m. is early. I don't know. Go Browns. But yeah, I do this. You see it on my page. We sing, we praise, we dance, we sing and clap and we address real issues. I'm in a series right now called Navigating Next After No. 3 times Jesus said, Lord, if there's any other way we can do this salvation of mankind thing without me having to be brutally tortured, executed, and murdered by the hands of the state police, let this happen. But not my will, but your will be done. And God's answer, unfortunately for him, fortunately for us, was no. So how do you navigate that? He prayed 3 times, Father, let this bitter cup pass. And God's answer was no. So how do you navigate what's next after no? All right, I said a mouthful. God bless you. I'm going to put this on Instagram as well so they can see. Take this with you. Share it with someone. God bless you. I'll see you in the morning. Let's be better. Starts with me. I'm going to try my best, y'all. Take care. And if you see me messing up, check me. All right, we're in this together.